At 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi there, good morning. It is Monday, it is May 15th, and we've got the weekend morning vibe going, and it is a lot.
It's a lot. Thank you, Mark, for putting up with us.
Oh, no problem. Spivey's here, Max is here. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Max.
Steven, the same one is here.
I'm on weekend, though.
I know. That's why I said you're the same one.
You're welcome to join whenever you'd like.
Yeah,
Always
please.
a pleasure.
We have fun. And hey, guys, you know what? There is some rain on the radar. I know a lot of people didn't get as much rain as they maybe hoped for this weekend, even though we did see widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain. But take a look south of San Antonio right now in Atascosa County, Karnes County, and nearer to Dilley and Pearsall. There is an area of scattered thunderstorms. It is very slowly moving north and west. It may just clip the east side here of Bexar County, but plenty of lightning with this right now, just some very heavy downpours at times. Any of the rain that develops today will be capable of producing times of heavy rain, and the ground is already saturated. Now, not everybody is going to see rain today, but if this particular line holds together for parts of south and western Bexar County, it should be there by 11:30. Otherwise, here's a look at the forecast as far as rain goes for the remainder of the day. We have slightly better chances in the afternoon, only about 40% coverage. So again, not everybody's going to see some rain today, but some folks will. And hopefully it'll fall on the areas that missed out on the widespread 1 to 3 inches by last Saturday morning. But here's the thing. It has made the molds go up. Molds are high, past 3,000. Now they're not as high as it was yesterday, but just a quick look at that pollen count for you. Grass is present in low amounts as well. Show you the future cast. I'll have an hour-by-hour forecast for not only the day today, but for the rest of your week and your evening commute as well. Back to you guys.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much. But I will say this, I thought I needed a second cup of coffee, but with the Weekend Warriors here, you know what? I think we're going to be okay. All right, let's get a quick look here at TransGuide 37 at Fair Avenue. It's been a pretty quiet morning as we get the new work week rolling here. 410 at Babcock. Not a bad shot, but we do have folks out there. The roads are never really empty, right? So we can expect to see the commute tend to get a little tricky in some areas when we have construction involved. So we have more on that a little bit later, but let's talk about what we're seeing right now in terms of some of the issues. If you're traveling along 281 southbound, or maybe you're planning on heading down the road a little bit later, we can expect to see some delays. This crash is still lingering around. You can see a lot of red and orange that is building out there, but watch out. Crews have at least 2 right lanes blocked at this hour. No word yet on any injuries. We hope everyone's doing okay out there, but unfortunately, things aren't looking too great over here along I-10 eastbound at Roland Avenue. We have another serious crash reported. I'm not seeing any big backups with this particular area, at least just yet. I'll get on the phone with our friends at TransGuide to find out exactly what we can expect as people are still making their way to their destination. Giving you a wide look at the metropolitan area, it has been a very quiet morning. We did have some minor issues that were reported already cleared out, but we're going to watch things very closely. And as always, we want you to know before you go, I mentioned some of the construction. Scan this QR code. I just updated our list of current closures on our website. We have a full list that is pretty much letting you know what you can expect if you plan to hit the roadways throughout the month of May, which we know a lot of you do. So plan your commute ahead of time. Mark, Sarah.
Stephen, thank you. 4 people in custody after a carjacking that turned into a chase early this morning.
So 3 of the 4 arrested are teenagers. San Antonio police say this all started around 3 in the morning near Loop 410 and Medina-based Road. That's on the city's west side. So a woman told officers that 4 people came up to her and allegedly carjacked her at gunpoint. Officers later found the car and chased the suspects down I-35 to the access road of Loop 410 and Highway 90. The suspects crashed the car, then took off, running into a wooded area. With the help of the SAPD helicopter, police were able to find the suspects and take them into custody. It's unclear what charges they will be facing.
Jury selection begins this morning in the case against the daughter of former San Antonio car dealer Ken Batchelor. Kendall Batchelor is accused of driving the wrong way on State Highway 46 outside of Boerne last summer, crashing into and killing the driver of another vehicle. She's facing a felony charge of intoxication manslaughter. Her lawyers tried to get a change of venue, but that request was denied. Opening statements are expected to begin this afternoon at the Kendall County Courthouse, and testimony could start as soon as tomorrow morning. Monday morning headlines, the latest on that Brownsville crash that killed 8 people and seriously injured 10 others.
And Americans could reach a record $1 trillion in credit card debt. Max Massey joins us live in studios with our headlines. So Max, where are we starting at this point?
So guys, good morning. We are actually starting with some surprising developments in the aftermath of Title 42's expiration, including a new lawsuit filed against the Biden administration. So we're going to dive into it. This surprising development at the border, the U.S. Homeland Secretary, well, he reports border encounters, they're actually down. They're down by a lot. Latest reports this morning say those encounters down by about 50%. And this comes just 4 days after Title 42 expired. But the U.S., biggest cities, they're starting to feel the effects of the border crisis through the morning. Governor Greg Abbott resuming the busing of migrants from Texas to cities across the country. Dozens of migrants actually arriving outside the vice president's home last night. And in New York City, 3 migrant buses arriving over the weekend and a Manhattan hotel now being converted into an emergency migrant shelter. New York Mayor Eric Adams says his city, New York City, is overwhelmed, and he actually plans to bus more migrants to the New York suburbs.
For the past 2 days, the United States Border Patrol has seen an approximately 50% drop in the number of people encountered at our southern border.
My hope is they'll continue to go down, but we have a lot more work to do.
Mayorkas says the U.S.'s stricter asylum-seeking policies. He says these new policies are making an impact. These new rules call for non-Mexican migrants seeking asylum to first show proof that they've actually been denied protection from a country that they passed through on their way to the U.S. border. They also require the use of a federal app to make an appointment, though a lot of the migrants, they say that this app has been difficult to use because of glitches and a lack of cell phone service. Also, lack of cell phones. Now, breaking these rules could actually mean deportation plus a 5-year ban on allowing them to enter the United States. And going back to that lawsuit, guys, the ACLU getting involved, suing the Biden administration, saying that these are cruel punishments, cruel policies, and really making it akin to the Trump administration. All right, and guys, in the midst of all this, we are now learning more about the suspected driver that caused all of this damage. Mark, as you said, killing 8 people, severely injuring more than 10, driving the Range Rover into the migrants last Sunday in Brownsville, Texas. Now, an arrest warrant states 34-year-old George Alvarez, obviously intoxicated, telling arriving officers that the migrants got in his way. Police say Alvarez ran a red light, lost control of the Range Rover, slamming into 18 people near a migrant shelter back on May 7th. He didn't stay, see what was happening. He tried to get away. He was detained by bystanders at the scene. A medical report revealing Alvarez had drugs in his system, including marijuana and cocaine. Right now, he is facing 8 counts of manslaughter, 10 counts of aggravated assault, and he remains in custody on a $3.6 million bond. Brownsville police, though, continuing to investigate, still trying to figure out if this was intentional or accidental. All right, now to one of my favorite topics to talk about, the possibility of America defaulting on our debt and Americans reaching record high credit card debt. So the Federal Reserve Bank of New York releasing a quarterly report on the day, and it's on household debt and credit. Analysts anticipate credit card balances across our country. Yes, the balance, what you owe. Americans, they're owing about $1 trillion. And this is really a landmark because it's the first time we're hitting $1 trillion as a nation, household debt. Meanwhile, we got to talk about the U.S. spending. Well, our ceiling and the talks, the negotiations, or what we hope to be negotiations, still a stalemate. It's the start of a new week, and the debt ceiling drama still hovering all over Washington, D.C. President Joe Biden and top congressional leaders, including House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, they're expected to meet again this week, hopefully tomorrow, to discuss the matter. Remember, they were supposed to meet last week, and they postponed the meeting, seemingly postponing it for months now. McCarthy and House Republicans say they're okay with raising the debt limit $1.5 trillion if cuts to the budget are made. Remember, they were supposed to meet last week. They pushed it on again. And we've really been asking our local congressman about the debt ceiling issue all the way since January. Just put in that perspective, that was more than 5 months ago. All right, crazy story out of Hawaii. Really one of the big reasons why my girlfriend refuses to go swimming in the ocean. A fisherman in Hawaii counting his blessings. Look at this. I mean, that's a shark, for those who can't tell. Miraculously, the guy who got the video unhurt, he's okay, no injuries. Not only that, able to catch the whole situation on video. So, Mark, I know you go kayaking all the time. You go fishing. Mm-hmm. This is a simple fishing adventure. So Scott was out there fishing on his kayak over a mile from the shore, shallow waters, had his GoPro on because, he just had fish. And Luckily, he didn't turn it off. That's when all of this happened. It looks like a scene out of Jaws, or I just saw the movie Meg. Fantastic. Really recommend. For Scott, an experience so scary, he says if he didn't catch it on camera, people wouldn't believe him.
It was incredibly bad luck, but incredibly good luck to capture it. And I heard a whooshing sound that sounded like a boat, like heading towards me without the motor. And I looked up and I saw this big, wide brown thing, which my brain thought was a turtle. But then I got slammed by it, and then I realized it was a tiger shark.
So here's the thing, right? We learned about self-defense. What about shark self-defense? He was able to kick the shark away. He even kept fishing afterwards. Wasn't until he looked back at the video that he realized how lucky he was. Doesn't know why it happened, but he says after the attack, he did see a wounded seal in the area. And honestly, guys, the marks on the kayak seem pretty small. Like I said, no injuries to Scott, just a little shaken up, obviously. Happy to live to tell the tale of the one that got away. But Mark, I want to put yourself in these shoes, right? Or in this kayak, for example.
Yeah.
You're out there fishing.
And this happens. So your instinct when you lose your balance in a kayak is to put your legs and feet outside the kayak and into the water. And I see that he did this at one point, even after the attack, but I mean, a brave guy. This is a deal breaker for a lot of fishermen.
Yeah. So I think my favorite part is after all this, because you can't check the GoPro until later.
Right.
After all this, he keeps fishing.
Right.
He stays out there.
Well, he's like, I'm out this far. I might as well stay. But remember, an oar can serve two purposes too. Paddling and whacking.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, terrifying.
Yep.
Glad he's okay.
I'm glad I have a kayak trip planned in 2 weeks in the Pacific.
I don't think there are many sharks out where you're going, but be safe.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Just, we'll make sure she has the video going the whole time.
Yeah.
And happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday, Max. Good to have you with us on your birthday. Well, on to other news this morning. A story out of Converse near San Antonio getting a lot of attention online. A dispute that ended with a woman pulling out a gun and threatening to shoot her next door neighbor.
Shoot you.
So police later arrested the woman who had the gun pointed at her. KSAT investigates. Dylan Collier spoke with the defense attorney, and his take on the developing case may surprise you.
On March 4th, Bismarck Lane resident Margot Vasquez said she was forced to move a neighbor's bed frame that had been set out for bulk trash pickup several times as it was over the curb and making contact with her car. Vasquez told KSAT a decade of frustration with neighbor Shirley Barr was running through her when she walked up to Barr and delivered a two-handed shove. A surveillance camera above Barr's garage continued to roll as Barr walked inside her home, then emerged half a minute later, opening the door of a truck and pulling out a handgun.
I'll shoot your down.
Converse police called to the scene, charged Vasquez with misdemeanor assault after Barr complained of shortness of breath and had red marks that could be seen by responding officers. Barr, who did not respond to a request for comment, was not charged.
And we see the bed frame sort of on the edge of the property line.
Criminal defense attorney John Hunter, who is not involved in the case, analyzed the footage for KSAT and gave us his legal opinion. He says Converse police followed Texas law and got it right.
The question here we need to start with is Ms. Barr on her own property? Yes. Is Ms. Vasquez interfering with Ms. Barr's property? It appears so, at least in part. Could Ms. Vasquez have done something other than be confrontational, throw this material in the driveway to block people from coming and going from that driveway? Obviously.
But this case took a turn earlier this month after Converse PD filed a case against Barr with the Bexar County District Attorney's Office for aggravated assault, a felony, citing the threats made and the gun that she produced. Hunter calls it a, quote, brash decision by police.
Ms. Barr is defending her real property. She's not using violent force when the conflict starts. Ms. Vasquez is the initiator of that conflict. And there's extremely strong language being used in combination with physical force.
A DA spokesman confirms both cases are with its intake division and are now under review. For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
9:12, 76 degrees. Coming up on GMSA at 9.
A look at the runoff race for the District 1 City Council seat as the candidates prepare for another election round.
Welcome back. Outside on live cam with this Monday. We see a little bit of sun coming through those leftover clouds. 76 degrees already at 9:16 in the morning. And we had some rain around this weekend.
And we do have some rain on the radar right now. Sir, your garden's doing great.
I know. It's been very fruitful. This is from the KSAT garden, and I walked out today and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Everything is like, this was ready to be picked. It might be too big, because squash kind of loses its taste, once you let it gets too, what did you say, pulpy?
Yeah, on the inside.
Yeah, so
but we'll see. She has corn out there too, basil. I'm excited to maybe make a little bit of a caprese salad with that.
So we're gonna start cooking things up from the KSAT garden.
Great, and it has been a rainier start to the year so far for us, and I welcome that. So take a look at the radar right now. There are some showers and storms south of San Antonio, moving through Atascosa County right now, and this kind of just shows you the unsettled nature of our atmosphere today. It's nice and comfortable around San Antonio, but right now it is storming over areas in Atascosa County, and we are going to have a chance for scattered rain today. You can see with this thunderstorm right now that there is a section of the storm here. I'm going to turn off the lightning. That is purple. This section could contain some pea-sized hail through McCoy right to the east side of 37, heading potentially toward the Pleasanton area. It's moving very slow to the northwest at about 20 miles per hour. So if we put a track on the area that could contain perhaps some small pea-sized hail, it could be in the Pleasanton area by about 10 o'clock. Although in Pleasanton right now you are seeing plenty of lightning. South Pleasanton seeing a lot of rainfall too. Take a look at these rainfall rates. Again, this is pretty much the only area that is seeing rain right now around our KSAT 12 viewing area, but it is producing a rainfall rate of 6 inches an hour. That means if the storm was just to stay still for a whole hour, it would produce 6 inches of rain. That is a lot of rain. So any storms that develop will produce locally heavy rainfall. And again, notice how slowly this is moving. If it can hold together, it would clip South Bexar County by about 10:30. It would perhaps clip West Bexar County by about 11 o'clock this morning. So we'll continue to keep an eye on the radar for you. Again, notice the very scattered nature. Not everybody is going to see rain, but some will today. As we take a look at the futurecast, I want to show you here the potential is a little bit greater in the afternoon for a few scattered downpours. Again, anything that develops probably not containing any damaging hail or anything like that. It would just produce some heavy rain at times. And notice that this particular model does bring some through San Antonio right around the time of the evening commute. So before you head out for the afternoon commute, maybe to pick up your kids or perhaps head home, know that it is going to be a good idea to check the radar before you head out and pack your patience. Now, a lot of these storms are going to be fueled by sunshine. So once we lose the sun after sunset, our rain chances are going to go down. And then tomorrow should be a mainly quiet day with even less of a rain chance. We're talking only about 30% during the peak heat of the day in the afternoon. Outside right now, it's 76 degrees. Winds are going to be light and variable today, unless, of course, you get one of those scattered storms moving through, that it could be a bit breezy. 76 outside in San Antonio, 76 in Del Rio, 77 in Uvalde, 74 in Pleasanton. As we zoom in a little bit more, you can see that the cirrus clouds from the top of those thunderstorms have moved into San Antonio. We're going to have a mostly cloudy day today, and again, in the afternoon, we'll have the greatest coverage of showers and storms, only about 40 to 60%, so there will be people who miss out on the rain. By noon, it'll be 80 degrees. In the afternoon, 83, light and variable winds, and then a 40% chance for scattered showers and storms. Then after sunset tonight, our rain chances will go down. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, week, only isolated tomorrow, very low rain chances through the middle of the week, and even into the weekend, only isolated showers and storms are possible. So the main thing to know about this week, other than the afternoon storms today, is that it is going to be humid and warm. Temperatures will warm up to near 90 degrees by Friday. Hey, coming up, I'm going to show you how much better the rain has been this year for us compared to last year. Those details coming up soon. More news after the break.
You wanted to revisit that scene that Stephen Cavazos updated us on at the top of the show. 281 and the quarry, that crash on the southbound lanes has since cleared, and you can see traffic is moving smoothly now.
During the city's general election, nearly every San Antonio City Council member running for another term secured one, except for District 1 Councilman Mario Bravo.
So now he will fight for his seat in a runoff election with Suk Kaur. She finished 8 points ahead of him in the 7-way race.
That's right. Garrett Berger talked with both candidates about their plans to convince voters over the next month that they are the right one to lead District 1.
From the porch of her Beacon Hill home and campaign headquarters, Suk Kaur reflected on her first place finish this Saturday.
We put in thousands of hours on doors, and I think that's truly what made the difference.
Kaur, who owns a company that works with public charter schools, launched her campaign for city council in October. She sees the seat as a way to tackle the inequities facing students.
All of the time they're not in school, how are we addressing the issues that they're facing at home and in the communities?
Her opponent, Councilman Mario Bravo, unseated an incumbent himself 2 years ago, at a time when homelessness was a top priority for the district. It still is for him, he says, and cites progress on the issue as a top success.
While in my first term, we secured $43 million to work on permanent supportive housing.
And although he has name recognition as a sitting councilman, it's not all good. Most notably, a confrontation with his fellow council member and ex, Anna Sandoval, reportedly got personal. It got him temporarily booted off committees and censured by his colleagues.
That was a tough lesson to learn. It was a tough lesson to learn publicly, even tougher.
But Bravo says that was one day.
I have a proven record as being a partner, of showing up, of listening, and being people's voice at City Hall.
Kaur listed priorities like streets, drainage, and sidewalks, as well as public safety.
I really want to focus, if elected, on enforceable public safety policy that supports our police force, because I do believe that, but also holds accountable when there are incidences that occur.
And they both talked about the challenges of property taxes and D1 residents being priced out of their homes. Early voting for the runoff will last from May 30th through June 6th. The runoff itself is June 10th. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
926, 76 degrees, or a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including the latest trouble for Memphis Grizzlies point guard Ja Morant finds himself in. Max will be back with a look at weekend sports.
Plus, the latest on the border situation out. Buses of migrants are now arriving in northern states after crossing into the country. The number of reported border encounters are down by a shocking 50% after Title 42 expired last week. That figure comes from a recent claim by U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
But now there could be problems elsewhere, as ABC's Justin Finch reports buses carrying migrants from border states are arriving in Democrat-led cities across the country.
Good morning. The U.S. continuing to feel the effects of the border crisis this morning. Texas Governor Greg Abbott resuming the busing of migrants from his state to cities across the country. In the nation's capital, dozens of migrants arrived outside the vice president's residence Sunday night. And in New York City, 3 migrant buses arrived over the weekend, and a Manhattan hotel is being converted into an emergency migrant shelter. As U.S. cities struggle to support arriving migrants, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is reporting a major downturn in migrant crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border.
Over the past 2 days, the United States Border Patrol has seen an approximately 50% drop in the number of people encountered at our southern border.
That drop comes just days after Title 42, the pandemic-era health policy that allowed the U.S. to deport most migrants, expired last week.
My hope is they'll continue to go down, but we have a lot more work to do.
The new rules call for non-Mexican migrants seeking asylum to first show proof they've been denied protection from a country they passed through on their way to the U.S. border. They're also required to use a federal app to make an appointment, though many migrants say it's been difficult to do so due to glitches and a lack of cell service. Breaking these rules could mean deportation plus a 5-year ban on entering the U.S. And the ACLU is now suing the Biden administration, likening its new border policies to the Trump administration and calling asylum bans cruel and illegal. Secretary Mayorkas firing back, insisting those Biden-era policies are not an asylum ban. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Taking a look outside with live cam, 77 degrees, those clouds still lingering. And Sarah, bigger chance for rain today than we had yesterday, correct?
Yeah, and you can actually see that right now on the radar. We have some showers and storms south of San Antonio in Atascosa County and moving now into Wilson County. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. First of all, notice how isolated this is toward areas in Atascosa and Wilson County. Not many people are going to see, not a ton of people are going to see rain today, but some are. So let's go ahead and zoom into that. You can see that there's quite a bit of lightning here. We're not really concerned about severe weather, no damaging hail or anything like that. The biggest concern would be localized flooding issues because this is very heavy rain that's falling from Pleasanton along I-37 down into southern Atascosa County and then just now starting to get into Wilson County nearer to Three Oaks, just to the west of Floresville and Poth. And as I put this in motion, you can see how slow moving this is. This is a loop in the last hour or so. It's pretty much just stayed in Atascosa and Wilson County. So it's clearly dumping at least 1 inch to 2 inches of rain on saturated soils. Now, if this were to hold together, it would make it to South Bexar County here by about 10:30. And that's a big if because this may rain out before it even makes it to San Antonio. But something to consider for the remainder of the day is that this kind of scattered random development of showers and storms is entirely possible. We're calling it in total about 40 to 60% coverage. So for your afternoon commute today, know that you'll want to check the radar before you head out because there will be a few downpours not only around San Antonio but also across the hill country too. So coming up, a little bit of a further analysis of the storms that are ongoing right now. I'll also give you an hour-by-hour forecast for the remainder of the day, and we'll talk about how much rain we've seen so far this year. Details soon. Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. And championship weekend here in San Antonio and a Texas team completing the ultimate Cinderella story.
Plus, a huge night for our Spurs tomorrow night could dictate a little something called the future direction of the franchise. Max Massey is back with a look at weekend sports. Max, did you get to meet The Rock?
I did not. Sadly, I did not, although Mayor on Nuremberg took many pictures with him.
I'm so jealous.
Sarah was clear. Sarah, were you more jealous of The Rock or the mayor?
I don't know.
That's fair. All right, but either way, yes, Cinderella story, and I gotta say, a little disheartening that our own team wasn't in it, but a Texas team was in it, and well, they came out on top. Saturday night at the Dome, Arlington Renegades and the DC Defenders playing in the XFL championship game, wrapping up the season. I think this is the third iteration of the XFL. Regardless, no contest. Arlington scoring 17 straight before DC even gets on the board. The Renegades, they were up 20-6 at halftime. Arlington entered the playoffs with a losing record, and yet they won 35-26. DC had lost only one game this season prior to the championship. Here we go, Mark. No pressure on those ping pong balls. The 2023 NBA Draft Lottery tomorrow night in Chicago, and that's when the Pistons, the Rockets, and our San Antonio Spurs, we get to watch ping pong balls, the most exciting moment of the Spurs so far in the last few months. The ping pong balls bounce around, and it determines who gets the #1 coveted draft pick and the rights to the select French phenom Victor Wembanyama. So, Detroit, Houston, San Antonio, we all have a 14% chance to get the Wemby prize. The last time the ping pong balls landed in the Spurs' favor, we all know, 1997, drafting Tim Duncan first overall. We know how that went. Many championships because of this guy. All right, 38th annual NBA Draft Lottery determines the order of selection for the first 14 picks of the 2023 NBA Draft. That's why it's called the lottery. It all goes down tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Chicago on ESPN, and per the percentages, the Spurs will finish no lower than the 7th overall pick. So no matter what, we're adding to the young talent we already have. A little optimism. All right, Now to the current NBA playoffs. And watching this game, really, cruel and unusual punishment. We got Sixers, Celtics at the Garden in Boston. Philly looked fine early on. I'm not going to say they looked good. It was an elimination game. And what happens in elimination games? Doc and James Harden, they choke. So James Harden bounced past P.J. Tucker, laying. Tucker scored 11 points. He was a bright spot in a dark game. League MVP. Bet people are rethinking that one. Joel Embiid getting to the rim, basket in the foul. Sixers would lead for a little bit after one, 29-23, but Boston clawed their way back. Jason Tatum, he threw some lobs, he put up some points, he set a record, not a big deal. Boston made it a 4-point game, and then really, that guy encapsulated all of the excitement. Celtics rally, take a 55-52 lead right after the break. Tatum takes over from there. He finished with 51 points. And yes, I say NBA record. It is a record for points in a Game 7. Boston wins 112-88, advancing to their 5th Eastern Conference final in just the last 7 years. So something's going right in that Boston water. Miami and Boston tip off the Eastern Conference finals Wednesday night, 7:30 in Boston. Denver Nuggets taking on the LA Lakers tomorrow night. 7:30, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. And it's grown great for these 4 teams, but Memphis Grizzlies have a big problem on their hands. Other big news. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. Grizzlies star guard Ja Morant making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Again, seen on Instagram Live, holding a gun on Saturday. Memphis quickly suspending Ja from all team activities. Remember, he was suspended 8 games back in March for the exact same thing. Now, a former player on the team says Morant should be benched for all of next season as a punishment. Ja Morant, the 23-year-old star point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, suspended for the 2nd time this year. Now, this suspension announced after the 2-time All-Star seen in this Instagram Live video posted early yesterday morning. It shows him sitting behind the wheel of a car, appearing to hold a gun. The Grizzlies issuing a statement saying they are aware of the social media video.
You listen to Ja Morant post-game, the engagement level and the intellect are unmistakable, but yet this whole fake gangster theme that I thought we were past as a culture some years ago, I guess he's not past it.
This past March, Morant entered a counseling program after a similar live video posted on his Instagram account and has since been taken down, showing him holding a gun at a Denver club. He faced no criminal charges related to that incident, but was eventually suspended for 8 games by the NBA. Morant telling ESPN he is seeking help.
I was constantly, talking to therapists, different stuff to, help me manage that.
Now Morant's 5-year, $194 million contract, it's set to begin next season. And it really could be in jeopardy after this latest incident.
To be a professional athlete at any level, it is a privilege. It is not a right. And you are precariously at a point where you may be losing it.
He also has endorsement deals with Nike and Powerade. The sports drink company pulled an ad featuring Morant almost immediately after the initial March video had emerged. So not great, obviously. The Grizzlies say Morant is suspended pending an NBA review. Nike, obviously one of his biggest sponsors, he has his own shoe. They have not commented yet on the most recent situation, but they did release a statement back in March in the first instance supporting Ja Morant for the help that he was getting. I'm going to go back to the actual basketball of this, guys. Did any of you watch the game yesterday? I'm
it was on. I wasn't paying attention.
You didn't miss much. After halftime, it was really difficult to watch.
Max is a Philly fan. Anyway.
Yeah, some of my darkest days,
we could tell.
Yeah, it was difficult. But either way, guys, down to the Final Four.
Let's end on a positive note. Congratulations to former Cowboys quarterback Ben DiNucci, who played for the Seattle Sea Dragons of the XFL this season. He tried out and just signed a contract with the Denver Broncos.
There we go.
Congratulations,
Amazing.
James Madison's Ben DiNucci.
There you go.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you, guys.
940, 77 degrees.
We'll be right back.
944.
And Sarah, yesterday turned out to be, hot.
Yeah, warm.
Hot, but we missed the rain. Today, a bigger chance for that rain.
Yeah, in fact, there are some storms on the doorstep of San Antonio right now as we speak in Atascosa and Wilson County. First, though, I do want to talk about how much rain we've seen so far this year. Take a look at this. We've seen almost 11 inches of rain so far this year since January 1st at the San Antonio International Airport. Compare this to last year when we had only seen about 4 inches of rainfall. That is quite the difference. We've seen almost 7 inches more of rainfall this year than we did last year. And take a look at the weather setup across the state of Texas. One of the reasons why this particular weather pattern is difficult to forecast for is take a look. There are 3 low pressure systems across Texas right now, producing storms moving in different directions, different intensities of storms. Very random when you look at that water vapor, but there is a lot of energy out there. And in fact, again, we are seeing some of those storms right now on San Antonio's doorstep. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold together for South Bexar County. These are just very heavy showers and storms, thunder showers really falling over Pleasanton, Poteet, Jourdanton, Floresville and Poth, particularly the west side of Floresville and Poth. We're seeing quite a bit of lightning, too. Take a look at that. One lone lightning strike in southern Bexar County, striking a few miles outside of the storm itself. And these are very heavy thunder showers. So when we look at rainfall rates, you can see that the rain is falling very, very heavy over these areas right now. Take a look at some of these rainfall rates. Anywhere you see this purple color, that's where we're dealing with rainfall rates of 3 to 5 inches an hour. And this storm is not moving all that much. It's moving to the north at about 20 miles per hour. So if it were to hold together just in the next few minutes or so, it's moving to the north at 20 miles per hour. So it could be in these areas near to Mitchell Lake by about 10:23, Mission Espada by about 10:30, closer to China Grove by 10:40. And this is a big if it can hold together. It may rain out before it gets there, but still, this is good news for those who want a little bit of extra rain here in the rain gauge. All right, let's go back and play this in motion. Zoom out a little bit more, and you can see there's also a few thunder showers moving out of Webb County too. So this is going to be moving through here in southern Bexar County in the next 30 minutes or so. But throughout the day today, we're going to carry this 40% chance for showers and thunderstorms. They're going to pop up in random locations, so it's difficult to really nail down exactly which areas are going to get the heavier of the rain. But even into the afternoon during the evening commute, there's about 40% coverage of showers and storms possible. Once we lose the daytime heating, once the sun sets, we're going to lose a lot of the fuel for these storms, and so our rain chances are going to go down. And tomorrow, Tuesday, there's only a 30% chance in the afternoon for a few thunder showers as well. So just to reiterate everything I've said, looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, carrying a 40% chance for rain throughout the day today. By noon, we're going to be at 80 degrees. In the afternoon, we're going to be at 83. And then later on tonight, temperatures will fall into the 70s. Keep that KSAT Weather Authority app handy with you throughout the day. Check the radar before you drive because, again, those grounds are saturated. These scattered showers and storms are heavy rain producers and could end up causing some ponding on the roads. Right now it's 76 degrees in San Antonio, 76 in Del Rio, 80 in Cotulla. Pleasanton just got some rain. It's 69 degrees there, 72 in Kerrville, and it's 76 in Hondo and 70 in Comfort. Regardless of if you get rain or not, it's going to be a humid and warm day. Dew points are right near 70 degrees. That's oppressive humidity. So even if you miss out on the rain, it's still going to be humid. High temperature of 83. Less of a chance for rain tomorrow, only 30%. And notice that as we see the rain chances go down, the temperatures go up. We're going to be near 90 degrees by Friday. Bit of a heat index value as well. I'm going to be here throughout the day and into the afternoon, keeping track of that radar. Again, best friend at this time is that KSAT Weather Authority app. You can track the storms yourself, and I've got an hour-by-hour forecast on there for you.
The KSAT Weather Authority app, I have over the iPhone app, because the iPhone app, you never really know.
It's just computer generated
right.
on the iPhone app.
And it's these guys. They know what they're talking about.
We'll take you guys every time.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Sarah.
That was a good answer, right? 9:49, 77 degrees.
When we come back, a look at the final 3 contestants on American Idol.
Plus, a look at which movies did the best this weekend in theaters.
We're moving? She saw the boxes. She was putting it together.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret, slipped from 4th to 5th place this weekend on ticket sales of $2.5 million, while Evil Dead Rise dropped from 3rd to 4th with $3.7 million.
What are you doing here?
Me? I live here. This is my cooking school. Book Club, the next chapter, opened in 3rd place with $6.5 million, less than half what the original Book Club opened to in 2018, according to The Hollywood Reporter.
What is this place?
Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine.
The Super Mario Brothers movie held on to 2nd place this weekend, adding another $13 million to its now $536 million domestic box office haul.
But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 fought off all competitors to stay in 1st place during its sophomore week in theaters. The MCU adventure scored $60.5 million, bringing its 2-week domestic total to $213.2 million. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, there were 5 young singers in the American Idol semifinals last night, but only 3 are moving on to next week's finale.
As ABC's George Pinocchio shares some post-show interviews from last night's show.
They're all number ones at this point. Think about it, George. Each one of them has their own lane. So it just depends on what lane wins.
American Idol is now down to 18-year-old Colin Stow.
Nobody knows how the story ends.
And if I did become the next American Idol, we'll have a bomb-ass album, and it'll be great. I can tell you that.
21-year-old Megan Danielle.
Do you have a strategy heading into the finale?
No, just to keep being myself, keep thanking God every week, and just keep leaning on Him and believing in myself.
And 18-year-old Iam Tongi, who wore his parents close to his heart.
Think of everything you've got.
Someone gave this to me in the crowd, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, I never got to meet whoever gave me this, but thank you for giving me this. I really appreciate it.
On this Disney night, also celebrating Mother's Day, 2 of the judges say Iam may be the one to beat.
If the crowd's enthusiasm says anything, that might be true.
I mean, it seems like he just captured everybody's hearts right off the bat.
There was some drama for the host right before he announced the final 3.
We're 10 seconds coming up to commercial, and they hand me this. Now, I think my eye, I don't know if it's my eyes going back, like, that looks like, I don't know what that looks like.
He figured it out as the show said its goodbyes to Wayani from New York and Zachariah Smith from Mississippi.
I'm so proud of the place that I've gotten, not just for me, but for my family and for people who look up to me. I don't feel like this is a loss in any way, shape, or form.
This is the new chapter to my new life. I mean, I feel like I was born to be on stage.
You'll see the season finale of American Idol next Sunday night on ABC. In Hollywood, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
All right, I'm watching these storms as they're starting to move into southern Bexar County. Just some periods of heavy rainfall, and it's going to be scattered. So unfortunately, not everybody is going to see the rain, but it is good that we at least have a little bit more out there. Throughout the day today, a 40% chance for those showers. The weekend looks pretty good for now.
I loved having you guys here today.
It was fun. It was fun being here, Mark.
Fantastic.
Honorary weekend crew.
There you go.
Hey.
Thank you.
Oh, you wanted to? No? Okay.
Oh my God.